What is your definition of being wealthy?
I think, Kelly and I are very sensible. We want to live a really, really good lifestyle. We want to be in a great area. We want our kids to have, good holidays. We want to have, my parents to come over to Australia. So, with regards to our day-to-day expenses and things we do, we live an extremely good life and quite a lavish life to some extent. So, we're not saving for a rainy day. We're actually trying to have, good holidays and experiences which will, carry the test of time, and we'll be looking back in 10 years and going, what a great thing.
It has to be the flexibility and the ability to have the choice to do whatever you want at any particular time. So I think wealthy, and I think in order for you to have that choice and in order for you to be wealthy, you have to have that good quality sort of free cash flow coming through, whether it's good consistent dividends and franking credits coming through, or whether it's good rental income coming through. I think that is probably the best definition of being wealthy. So it's not so much the asset base, but more so the income that you're deriving from that asset base, which gives you the flexibility and the ability to make those choices.
Wealth for me is just happiness, in a sense of it. It doesn't mean fancy cars, fancy houses or whatever. It's literally all money. It's about happiness, spending time with your family and the friends as much as you can.
Wealth is health. None of the other stuff matters unless you have that taken care of. And then it's a flow-on effect, because when you're taken care of and your health is in check, you attract opportunities. You attract that wealth into your life. You attract the good things into your life. So I would say that's probably my life hack.
For me, being wealthy, there's like 6 categories in my life. There's my relationships, my wife. There's my spiritual. What am I doing to nurture my spiritual being? There's my business that I work with. There's my fitness, my health. And I think that's important to mention that. That's ground level. If your health is not there, you have no wealth and you can't launch and do everything else. So it's all nurturing all those categories and whatnot, and making sure you're, taking the best and leading the rest. And it's interesting with your introduction, you mentioned about the reading and the whatnot. Everyone thinks, Cullen doesn't need help, and he seems to be very happy all the time. But little do they know that I derive my happiness from, self-enrichment. And there are people in my life, apart from my lovely wife, Emma, who supports me. I do have a life coach that helps me, and helps me get to where I want to be. That's the investment I make in myself. And also UPW, Unleash the Power Within. I've taken 2 days off work, Friday and Monday, along with the weekend, to deep dive into myself to see what tweaks can I make in those categories of my life to take it to the next level. So I would say success and wealth goes hand in hand, and it's all about, you only get out what you put in, and if you keep on doing what you've always done, I know it sounds simple, but you always get what you've always got.
It's funny because when we're thinking about this from a marketing point of view, if we're positioning something at the higher end, people always think about luxury and all these words. For me, it's about time. Like, to be wealthy is to have time, to actually focus on what's important to you. It's about creating your own priorities rather than being dictated to by others about what you need to be doing. That whether it's time with family, time to learn, time to do things, but time. And I think the other thing is about having wealth for me is about an increasing array of options that you can choose from. And part of that is about being present. It's just about enjoy yourself in the moment. Don't always think so forward. It's great to look forward to things, and it's fantastic to plan for the future, but enjoy now. Be mentally, engaged in what's happening now. And for me, that's wealth.
Having financial freedom so that you can then spend your time on what really matters. So, being able to save enough and have diversified investments that are returning, so that in my case, I don't have to be slave to a 9 to 5 or a 6 to 9 p.m. career job constantly. People want to spend time in the sunshine with their family, with friends, doing some sport, having choices, because time is precious. And so my definition of wealth is getting yourself to a point before too late in life, where you can actually be thoughtful as to how you spend your time on what really matters. And maybe it's a slightly rose-colored glasses view of the world, but I think anyone who can get to that point through hard work and saving and diversified investments, it's a wonderful place to be.
I think a wealthy life is really about you're free to do, you go to work not because you have to work, right? And for me, that really means the financial freedom, right? So I'm not a big spender. So if I have my decent house, kids go to good schools, and I come to work because I want to come to work, that's all that matters.
I know that creating a buffer or enough wealth can certainly give you some freedoms to get more happiness and create opportunities in life.
Usually people hear the word and they think money, finance, being rich. They think rich and wealthy is the same thing. To me, it's more about, look, finance is important, an important part of that, but it's more about happiness and lifestyle. I know a lot of rich people that aren't happy, and I know a lot of happy people that aren't rich. So I think being wealthy is trying to balance those things out.